the colors, summer love. Lonesome dove.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and to a new vlog. So last week I was doing a lot of spooky books and horror. So this week I'm in the mood for something more romantic and something a little bit more summery and light. And I have these three books that I have been wanting to get to for the longest time. So the first book that I want to read is Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. This is the second book on the Part of Your World series. And I don't know if the characters are the same. I don't know if it's a continuation or if it's a whole other story altogether, but I really like the writing style of Abby Jimenez. I love the first book. I love the romance and I love the message behind it, the background story. Everything was just so perfect. So I'm super excited to read this book. Next book I have also been wanting to get to for the longest time. I picked this book up the minute that came out and I haven't read it yet. So that is Happy Place by Emily Henry. Isn't this book just giving happy summer vibes? And so on this book, we're following this couple who recently broke up and didn't tell any of their friends. And they're going on this vacation that they go to every year where all the friends kind of get together. And for some reason, they're pretending to still be together in front of their friends. So I am kind of intrigued to see why that is, to know what is happening. And I think this is also second chance romance. I mean, you have all the setting there, but I heard that the backstory of the romance is really good. I'm excited to find out what is happening. And the last book that I want to get to this week is The Four Wing, and this is by Rebecca Yarros. And I mean, look at this beautiful book. This book has such hype and it actually sold out everywhere. So I ordered this book from Barnes and Noble and they finally ship it to me. I mean, I think I was waiting for the book for about a month and I'm excited that it's now here and I can't wait to get to this one. And so this book is more of a fantasy romance. We're going to this military school. So to get to this school, you have to be part of like a family that has also been on this school for years. And in the school, you're learning how to ride dragons. And I also heard that the dragons on this book speak. So I think that's gonna be super cute. So these two people that are falling in love come from enemy families. I can't wait to see what the hype is all about. This book is in a lot of people's like favorite book of the year. So can't wait to give it a go. And so these are the three books that I really want to read. And this week, let me know if you guys have read any of these or if you have like a favorite romance book for the summer. And so yeah, let's get right into the vlog. So I just made it 50% into this book and I am in love. I am in love with this book. I'm in love with this couple and how they are behaving together, although they're not together. They just have such chemistry. Following Brianna and Jacob, and they're both, I think both doctors. They work for this clinic and they're kind of you want to say a little bit of enemies at the beginning because they have like different views and there's just this big misunderstanding. You're also following each of their previous stories of the backstory. So Jacob is kind of dealing with his brother now dating his ex, and he just found out that they are engaged to be married. And although he claims not to have any more feelings for her, he kind of knows that he's struggling a little bit, and he wants to prove to the family that he's okay with this. Then Brianna is coming also from a breakup, but she is actually going through a divorce, and so she's having a hard time being independent again and dealing with that whole situation. And she's dealing with her brother being sick with I think he needed a kidney transplant. So Jacob writes this letter to Brianna to kind of apologize if he came across the wrong way. He didn't want to seem as if he kind of had the answer to everything. So he was really gentle writing this letter, because he said that he expresses himself better writing and journaling, because he kind of suffers from like people anxiety or social anxiety. I'm just really loving the dynamic now that they kind of understand each other a little bit more. They communicate with letters, and it's just so cute. It's kind of seeing this back and forth, and I have been listening to this mainly on audiobook, so I kind of went back to look at the parts that, you know, were supposed to be letters and rereading those and kind of pretending that this is like letter communication, and it's just so fun. I am excited to continue with this book. Again, Abby Jimenez does not disappoint building up the romance or building up the chemistry of these two characters first before even realizing that they are in love, but you can definitely see how they are meant for each other. I am just so in love with the characters, with their dynamic, and I just can't wait to see how they realize they're actually in love with each other. I'm just in love. Hey guys, so an update. It looks like I haven't moved from here, but I actually had a full day today. I had a doctor's appointment, I had work, I had a few phone calls, meetings, and I am tired. But anyway, for the good news is that I went ahead and started The Fourth Wing today by Rebecca Yarros. And look how far along I am. I am almost 50% into this book. I'm on chapter 20, and I have been listening to this mainly on audiobook, obviously, because I have been out and about driving everywhere, so I was able to do quite a lot of listening, and I love it. Now, I don't think I expected this, because there's a lot of like conflict, there's a lot of world building, and I do like it. I enjoy all the story behind it. I do enjoy the dynamic with the dragons. I was gonna say dinosaurs, oh my gosh. With the dragons and how they talk. Bit of romance growing. I mean, you definitely see that the two characters have chemistry for each other that I love, but they're also they both have like this really big wall built around them, and I don't know, so I don't know how that's gonna turn out. What I wanted to do was kind of go back and do just like a quick scan because there was some parts that I wanted to highlight, but obviously as I was driving and just listening, I want to kind of find those and do some annotations on this book. And I recently picked this up, and I'm just so excited to do some annotations in my books. I've been wanting to do this, and I got all these different colors, that way I can kind of match like the covers of the books that I am annotating. Wouldn't that be so fun? And I guess for this one we can go with like these neutrals. I think this will be a good color combination to do. And also for my other book that I was reading yesterday, I went ahead and did a lot of like highlighting on the book, like pencil mark passages that I really like this one, for example, was my favorite quote. It was weird to say that she made me feel alone, the way I felt when I was by myself, calm and unaffected. I like being alone with her. Like, isn't that just so romantic? And so a little bit of a background story to this is like he suffers from anxiety, so he kind of has his life set up to be always by himself. Like even on his house, he doesn't have a lot of furniture because he doesn't expect to have visits. ever. Like he only has, well, he has furniture, but just for kind of like for one person. And it was just incredible to see that comfort that he's finding on her, and expresses his feelings, saying that being with her is as almost as if he's alone, which in any other context probably wouldn't be a good thing. But in this context, that means like he is so comfortable with her, and so it's just so romantic. I love it. So when I was kind of reading this, just put random papers to indicate where I highlighted. So I'm going to go ahead and use some of my annotations for this as well. So I'm excited going back to this book today. But yeah, so what I want to do right now is just kind of spend a little time going back to some of the beautiful quotes that I missed as I was listening to the audiobook on this book, and just do some annotation and add some tabs, and just kind of enjoy the full experience of reading this book. Morning, guys. Happy weekend. So today is Saturday, and I'm just having such a quiet, relaxing morning. I did a bit of a workout. I have been doing a little bit of reading. I just read like the most important chapter of this book. I think if you read this book, you probably know what I mean, because it was, yes, it was very interesting to say the least. I think it's chapter 30. But anyway, so I wanted to give you an update on my reading. So I was able to finish Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez, and I went ahead and annotated the most beautiful parts of this book for me. To show you how I color coded, I have a tab for like really beautiful love quotes that are throughout this book, and then I did another one for when the characters are kind of realizing they're falling in love, like when they're having those internal conversations. And then what I really like about this book is that it talks a lot about anxiety, and so I also did some tabs on that, and so that was really nice to find as well. And let me just tell you that I read the author's notes about her inspiration on writing this book, and it was so touching. And she's talking about her inspiration for writing the book and kind of adding those elements of anxiety. Not only Jacob is going through anxiety, he suffers from social anxiety, so you can see how he's built his world to kind of protect himself and make himself the most comfortable, and also putting himself first. So I really love that. And the brother of Brianna having to need a kidney transfer, and so just kind of how that puts a lot of pressure on you and the rest of the family. And so I just really appreciated that. And there's a beautiful message on this book also about like donating organs, like to become a donor, because it really does help save lives. And you know, it was just really a beautiful message. But the romance on this book was amazing, like 5 stars, just because, I mean, there were some parts where you're kind of like, oh my gosh, please just communicate already, because she's falling in love with him, he's falling in love with her, and they're kind of on this like fake relationship. But there's a point where they're both in love, and the other person is giving them clues that they are falling in love, but they are like, oh my gosh, I don't know, is this for real, or is he pretending because we are pretending? So that for me was like a lot of like, oh my gosh, please just say it like it is. But of course, it was just so pretty to see the love building. However, it was understandable though, because they both kind of come from these two failed relationships. But the way the guy just owns how to be present and how to show that you care. And then I am back to the Fourth Wing, and I did some reading on this book last night as well. So I am on chapter 31, and like I just mentioned this morning, I read chapter 40, and oh my goodness, this is probably what the hype is all about, because so far the book has been okay. It has been a lot of fantasy and the battle and them learning how to kind of control the dragons, and the dragons choosing the rider and the importance. And then we have Violet, and she's kind of learning that she has powers and how to use them, and she's becoming a really strong rider, right? And there's this whole game of whoever is the strongest, and there's a lot of that, which, to be quite honest, it is very nice, like the world building, but I just felt like there was a lot of that battle, and I wasn't so much into that. But I do like the hints of them realizing that they have chemistry and they like each other. But now this just turned for me, oh my gosh, I'm hating it. Because we went from a really amazing chapter of them realizing their feelings and getting together, and it was very explicit, like the way that they are connecting. And I don't know, I feel like it was very, very explicit. Then right on the chapter after that, it kind of goes back to, no, we are enemies, let's make this clear. The part that I didn't like is how Violet, she's kind of like saying, I have feelings for you, and he's clearly telling her he doesn't have feelings for her. And so she is on that set that I know he has feelings for me, he's just not, he just doesn't realize it, so I'll be here, so it's kind of like, enough already. I don't like this trope of, I know you love me, so you're mistreating me, but I know that at the end you're gonna love me. And that just gives, I think, the wrong message for girls, young girls reading this book. Or, I mean, it's an adult book, but still young adults. Because I feel like there shouldn't be that stigma that, okay, he's so mean to me, but I know he loves me. That needs to stop. If someone's like being mean, whatever reasons there are behind their behavior, let them work through that and not put yourself out there to kind of, I don't know, I just feel like that needs to stop. But anyway, so that is me so far with this book. I'm going to probably be finished with this book today. I have to do some computer work, and I'll be listening to the audiobook, and then after that I am super excited to start with Happy Place. So I will update you as I continue reading. Guys, I just wanted to give you a quick update. I was running some errands. We're gonna have lunch. I made these amazing barbecue ribs, and I just needed some like sour cream and things for the baked potatoes. But I just finished the fourth wing, and I just wanted to give you a quick review. I think overall it got better for me. I really like learning about like the background of the families, why the families are enemies. I did not like the alpha male character on the protagonist. That was just driving me crazy, that like being very pretentious. Did like learning about the history behind the families, why he was so resentful of her family and what happened in the past. No, I'm kind of confused, because I don't know if this is a young adult or an adult, because obviously the writing was very explicit, but at the same time it also felt a little bit I don't know, like juvenile for some points. But anyway, so right now we're gonna eat some lunch. I do have a live class in an hour, so I'm gonna relax until that happens, and then we're gonna be doing a little bit more reading hopefully later today. Hello. So cute.
Standing underneath the lights, looking into each other's eyes.
Hey guys, happy Sunday. So today I already started with Happy Place. I actually started this last night by Emily Henry. I also have the audiobook, so I have been listening and doing some read along, and I was also listening to the book as I was cleaning the house because it's Sunday and I had to just clean the fridge. I went grocery shopping, I'm doing laundry, we're doing everything today. And of course we are reading. So I am on chapter 10, so we're about 27% into this book, and I'm really liking it. I'm really liking learning about the background story, so you're kind of following the characters and the group of friends and how it became that why they have to pretend that they are still dating. And so I guess I understand the reason. That was my main question, like, why would you not tell your friends straight up that you guys broke up? Like, what's the big deal, right? So now I understand why they're kind of just pretending for a couple days, and it's very interesting. And so you are kind of seeing also how they met. I guess I am intrigued to find out why they broke up, and I'm really liking the dynamic of when they met and how they were together. So yeah, I know it's probably gonna be sad. Whatever reason it is they broke up, it had to be something significant enough, because it seems like the relationship was really beautiful at the beginning. So the goal for today is to finish this book. I'm going to be listening to this on audiobook. I also need to continue editing my digital magazine that is releasing next week, so I'm going to be doing some computer work. And also me and my daughter are going to start building these puzzles. So we got these at Barnes & Noble a few weeks ago, and we never actually got to make it, and so she wants to start the puzzle today. So we're gonna sit down and build the puzzle and just relax for a little bit. And this one is just really beautiful. This one is called The World of Jane Austen. So it's a puzzle that kind of has all the Jane Austen characters and this little village kind of combining all the books. So I just thought that was really, really cute. We have all the characters here, and that is like the little map. So I love it. This is so pretty. Anyway, that's gonna be the rest of the day, or the plans for the day. I also want to craft a little bit. There's a volleyball. I mean, there's a lot happening today, but we're gonna make the best of it. So my daughter just made me some coffee, some iced coffee. It's so good. So I'm gonna enjoy my little frozen coffee, continue reading the book, building the puzzle. It's just such a beautiful day. So I hope you guys are having a happy Sunday. Hey guys, so I just finished Happy Place by Emily Henry. Last night I spent some time annotating this book, and I finished the book early this morning, and I am just in love with the whole idea of this book, the concept of this book. I love how Emily Henry writes her characters with such substance, not just in the love and the family and the backstory, but also the connections that we have together with our friends, and how those friends become part of who you are, become part of your family. And I just enjoyed everything about it. There were so many beautiful quotes, as you can see. I still have to go back and add more quotes towards the beginning of the book, because some of my favorite quotes were actually more towards the beginning. But I have quotes here for like the love relationship, we have the friendships, and also I really like seeing all the family dynamic. You see the sacrifice your parents do for you, and you just want to be the best you can for them, even if there's nothing expected from you. It's not like your parents put pressure, but the pressure that we put on ourselves sometimes to be perfect and to make our family know that all the sacrifice they do for us is kind of worth it. So I really like that message, but also finding your happy place. And I just highly recommend this book. Another easy 5-star for Emily Henry. So just a quick wrap up of the books. Abby Jimenez, yours truly, definitely has the best male character, and I am just absolutely in love with him. He just seems to be so perfect, so understanding. Of course, he also has his struggles and his anxiety problems, and I really like reading all of that and relating to some of that as well. Must read, not just for the summer, but in general, again, for the anxiety problems and just for the chemistry and connection. And then Happy Place, of course, that I just mentioned, super beautiful. Another 5-star. I really like how this one concentrated a little bit more on the friendships that we have in our life and on our desire to always do everything right and perfect. And then the Fourth Wing, which for me was okay. I feel like the characters didn't have enough substance. There was nothing really explaining why they fell in love, other than, you know, this attraction that they have for each other. I really did enjoy the fantasy world, although I would have liked more connection with the writer and the dragon. It does look like it's an important part of the book, and I just feel like maybe there would have been a little bit more like sentimental development in there, like why you're so connected to your dragon. I just didn't see that. So overall, I think for me this was a 3 stars. So a very successful week of reading. I hope that you guys enjoy the vlog, and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.